This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Long Beach Playhouse for the opening night of Tom Stoppard's The Real Thing.
I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you are?
Noah Wagner. Got my degree from USC in '85, and I've been doing local theater in and around Long Beach and LA since then, and I play Henry. He's the writer, he's the protagonist in the show.
No, I want to talk to you later.
Okay. And he's kind of torn. He's got this very romantic idea of what love is and commitment and relationship, and throughout the whole play, it gets challenged again and again and again, and you get to see him kind of evolve and decide, well, maybe I'm not quite right in my viewpoints, and you get to see him kind of accept life on life's terms, and he finds a new version of happiness for himself.
I loved your performance.
Oh, well, thank you very, very much. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of work. I've never looked up more stuff in my life than I did for this play.
Oh, really? What kind of research would you do on a play like this?
Well, Stoppard is a very intellectual writer, and he had a lot of literature references, a lot of theater references, a lot of just even some psychological references, and so we wanted to make sure we dotted every I and crossed every T. So yeah, a lot of looking up. I'm not as well read as I'd like to be.
Do you prefer this kind of play, or do you prefer a tragedy? Because, no one really died or anything.
Well, the nice thing about this is it's what I'd call a dramedy, even though he calls it a comedy, because it does have some serious kind of heartfelt moments, at least for my character, I think it did. And so it's good. Yeah, it may not be action-packed, but it's got a lot of heart to it, and I like that. And there were times tonight where I could really, you could have heard a pin drop. So I know the house was engaged, and that makes me very happy.
So does this change your opinion on relationships? Does it make you more optimistic or pessimistic?
Well, I would say realistic, not optimistic or pessimistic. I think everybody in whatever relationship you have has got to find their own way, and it's about communication, and then whatever level of sexual fidelity or emotional fidelity you as a couple decide for self. That it basically challenges, we don't all have, it's not a cookie cutter thing, relationship. You get to figure it out for yourself and decide what works best for you, and hopefully as long as everybody's being upfront about it, you can find some happy resolution and have romance and love and not be a jerk.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you are?
I'm Lauren McDermott Taylor. I've studied theater at Long Beach State, and I've been at Long Beach Playhouse for a few years now, done a couple productions with them, and they're a great place. It's a lot of fun.
Great.
I play Annie in The Real Thing. Annie is a bit of a pickle. She's an actress who is married to Max but in love with Henry and desperately wants him to leave his current wife. And she is just a really passionate, free-thinking woman that has her own moral agenda and is really intriguing. And watching her grow through the play is really fascinating.
So what do you think of the play?
It's a wonderful play. I loved it before I came to it. It's so smart, and it's Tom Stoppard, who's incomparable, and just everything. It requires an English degree to get all the jokes, and it's passionate and brilliant.
Yeah, so how did you get casted into your part?
How did I get casted? I came to the theater, and they had a 2-day process, just come in and read some sides, and so I was lucky enough to get a call back and read against everyone else, just a room of really talented people, and we're all vying for the same part and getting to see how good they were, and I was lucky enough to be cast.
Right. Actually, I love the play also, and there's something about your character. As a female actor, you can actually express a degree of charm and sensuality that I haven't seen in a whole lot of other actresses.
Thank you so much.
I mean, do you work on that? Does that come naturally to you?
It's certainly hard. She's a very passionate, physical woman, which isn't entirely natural, so to really tap into that and find a place where she could be just charming and intelligent and also really kind of emotionally reckless with the men in her life is certainly difficult to try to adjust to.
Yeah, because I was actually looking at you and said, I could fall in love with a girl like that.
Thank you.
Well, don't read anything into that, art.
No, not at all. Okay. Happily engaged, but it's good to hear. That's certainly the goal.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Ashton Marcus with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you are?
Sean Hesketh. Okay. I went to school at Orange Coast College, Costa Mesa, and then I've worked with the Hunger Artists Theater Company, Stages Theater, a lot of theaters in Orange County area. I've done stuff here at Long Beach before, and I don't know. So I play first I play Max, an actor playing a character whose wife is apparently having an affair. Then it's revealed that I'm not that character. I'm the actor playing it, and my wife is still having an affair. That's pretty much where my character begins and ends.
I thought you were spot on for your character.
Oh, thanks. It's long been one of my favorite plays. So I've had this on my bookshelf for 15 years. Been wanting to do it. So I hope I did it justice.
So does this make you more cynical about relationships, or does it give you some kind of hope?
Well, compared to my actual relationships, it gives me hope. It is a play, very affecting, but it's still a play.
Do you prefer this to more dramatic roles? Because again, this wasn't really a drama.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of drama in it. I mean, there's not a lot of dramas that I have to go through as big dark emotions that I do in this play. All that matters is the quality of the script and the people you get to work with. Comedy, drama, whatever.
Actually, sorry, I misspoke. Do you prefer this to tragedies?
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, because I mean, it's a little. I mean, with like a classic tragedy, you kind of know the other shoe's gonna drop. You know where it's gonna go if you're familiar with structure at all. So you don't get a chance to. I mean, not to say that they're not worth doing, but I prefer something like this where the first time I saw it, I had no idea what was happening, where it was going, and I was just happy to be along for the ride.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM. And you are?
Name's Louisa Durand, originally from Oklahoma. Been out in California since 2007. I pursued acting professionally for a little bit. I'm more doing it as a hobby now, and this is my first show at, sorry, am I missing that? Wait, this is my first show at Long Beach Playhouse, and I definitely hope it's not my last. This has been a very welcoming, creative community. I'm so happy to be here amongst this group of people. Yes. I play Charlotte in The Real Thing. My character Charlotte is Henry's first wife, who you see at the top of the play. Their marriage is kind of in turmoil. And then fast forward to the second act, it's the aftermath of their divorce where they're trying to be friends and still raise their daughter and see her off. So that's a general synopsis of Charlotte.
What do you think of the play?
I love the play. I love any Tom Stoppard. He's been one of my favorite playwrights since I started reading plays, basically. And this one is just, it says so much about the topic of love on so many different levels. I feel like there's something anyone can relate to in their own relationship, whether it be past or present, and give them some insight as to maybe why it succeeded, why it failed, and great art does that, and this is just a great piece of art, this play. Love it.
Yeah, did this change your opinion on relationships? Did it make you more optimistic, more pessimistic?
I wouldn't say it did either. It just it definitely delving into the character, and even watching other characters in the show delve in, it gave me a couple of aha moments, more so in like past experiences in relationships, like, oh, that's what was wrong, or that there wasn't enough care put into it, or whatever it was. So it didn't make me more optimistic or more pessimistic. It just made me more observant overall of my partner when I'm in a relationship.
Do you prefer this kind of acting something that's a little dramatic, it's actually technically a comedy, opposed to something that's a tragedy?
I do. My personal preference has always been for comedy, but I don't know, it doesn't seem as meaningful if it's just all slapstick and there's no point to it. I like that there's a good balance in this show. There's a lot of laugh out loud moments balanced with some realism and some gut-punching, heartbreaking stuff. I would say this is my favorite type, where you have a range of emotions during the course of the evening. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Great, thank you very much.
Ashton Marcus, KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Wilhelm Peters. I am originally from New Orleans, and I moved here in August to Southern California, and this is my second show in the SoCal, and my second show here at the Playhouse. My character was Billy. I play the actor who has an affair with Annie, one of the main characters in the play.
What was your opinion about the play?
When I first read it, I wasn't really the biggest fan because it just, I don't know, it didn't read well for me. But then I was convinced to audition, and I did, and got cast. And once that first read-through happened, it was pretty special. Things just sort of took off. It was really fun.
Usually I don't see that much drama unless it's like a tragedy and someone dies. What do you think about that?
As far as in this play, that there's a lot of drama.
Yeah, a lot of drama, a lot of good acting.
Yeah. It's about love. A lot of people say it's about infidelity and adultery and all these things, but actually I think it's a play about love. So yes, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening, a lot of emotion, and it's all the different courses that love takes. So, there's going to be hurt, there's going to be joy, there's going to be all these different things, everything in between. So that's one of the things that's really interesting to me about this play.
Yeah. Does this change your opinion about relationships? Does it make it more cynical or more optimistic?
No, I feel like I feel like I'm on board with a lot of the stuff that happens in this play. I don't necessarily think that one has to be quote unquote married in the traditional sense, or together, linked together the same way that historically we've thought that that's the appropriate thing to do. So I feel like no, I mean, if you're meant to be with somebody for the rest of your life, then both of you have to agree on that. And if you don't, then, well, the person who disagrees gets to leave, So, it's sort of just, I love this play because it sort of reaffirms and encourages that worldview a little bit.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Anthony.
And could I have a brief bio of you?
What, sorry?
A brief bio of you.
A bio?
Yeah, your kind of your history, your acting.
I really don't have an acting history.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Well, your college degrees and all that?
I studied 20 years ago German at the University of Stirling in Scotland.
So is this your first role?
Kinda, yeah.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, I mean, I did a student production when I was in university, but that was 20 years ago, so, yeah.
Yeah, you actually did very well for your first movie, for your first play.
Well, I wish it was a movie. Thank you, though.
Yeah, so basically, how did that happen? Did you just apply for a casting call?
My friend is assistant director, and she asked me to come and read. She said they needed someone that could do a Scottish accent. I was like, okay, it'll be fun. I didn't really think seriously about it, and I came and I read, and they asked me to come back again. I read again, and then they gave me the part, and I wasn't even really trying. And so once it happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Have you seen a lot of theater in your life?
Not really, no.
This was actually a very good play that was done. It was actually excellent.
Yeah, I really like it, and I think the cast is really good. Yeah.
Actually, part of my show is actually getting the word out to get more people to see theater. Do you think you're going to see more theater?
I personally? Yeah, I'm going to try to, for sure, yeah. Yeah, and I certainly like the plays, the stuff they've got upcoming here for this year. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe think about auditioning for something. Who knows?
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Sure, thank you.
I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI, 88.9 FM in Irvine.
I am Sean Cray, the director of The Real Thing.
I love the performance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Your primary role here is the casting?
My primary role here at the Playhouse, my day job is I'm the technical director, so I build all the sets, I hire all the designers, I do all the tech side of the stuff. When they let me direct something, then that's when my artistic stuff comes out. Yeah.
So basically you cast the play.
I did cast the play, yes.
Yes, I thought the actors were excellent.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I got a good turnout for this one and cast some really good, fine actors.
What were you looking for in the casting?
I was looking at people who could embody the roles, who had a good sense of what a Tom Stoppard play requires, the amount of language that it requires, the amount of intelligence, and also someone who can do a pretty good British accent. Yeah.
Well, I found the accents were excellent. I felt like I was in an Oscar Wilde play.
Well, Tom Stoppard's very much as witty as Oscar Wilde, so you might call him the modern-day Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. So, well, what do you think of the play then?
I thought they did a great job tonight, and I was very happy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Tom Stoppard's The Real Thing will be playing at the Long Beach Playhouse from February 28th to March 28th. For more information, go to www.lbplayhouse.org or search for AMB Theatre on Facebook.